Now, there has been growing concerns in the city of Cleveland that Kevin Stefanski possibly is on his way out the door. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. I believe he is. Ain't no way he stays. Dealing with all the tangibles that happened this year, drafting 2 quarterbacks, making an idiotic mistake with having Shedeur Sanders not get any first-team reps, had the young man on the bench. It is just not looking good for Kevin Stefanski, bro. I just got to be honest. Now,
the pressure in Cleveland is no longer subtle. It's heavy, it's public, and it's circling Kevin Stefanski from every direction. A disappointing season, chaotic quarterback decisions, and mounting frustration inside the building have pushed the Browns to a crossroads.
There's 3 4th and 1s that didn't work. And did you like Kevin having the aggressiveness there, even backed up in your territory?
I mean, first, that's a rude question to ask. If I think, it was a great call by my coach,
Do you like the aggression? Do you like the call? Do you like?
I like being out there playing. so whatever that comes with, it comes with. We not gonna be here and ever point finger at no coach or do anything like that. That's extremely disrespectful, and that's not even in my place. So.
What's emerging now is a reality that nobody in power can ignore. Shedeur Sanders has become the axis on which Stefanski's future spins. The concern around Stefanski isn't new, but it has reached a breaking point. Drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same cycle created confusion instead of clarity.
Like I stated, there has been one side of people saying that Kevin Stefanski is no doubtedly, undeniably gone. Him and possibly Andrew Berry. Me, on the other hand, I feel a little different about the Andrew Berry thing. I just got to keep it 100 because Andrew Berry was the one who actually drafted Shedeur. Andrew Berry, from what I've been hearing, has been the one telling him to play Shedeur. Andrew Berry traded Joe Flacco just so they can play Shedeur. You see how this work out? You see how Andrew Berry been working from behind the scenes?
The refusal to give Sanders meaningful first-team reps early didn't just slow development, it sent a message. A rookie with poise, arm talent, and command was kept watching while the offense sputtered. That decision alone reshaped how this season is viewed internally and externally.
He could have easily been, why would you take me out in the same way you did? And it would be just, he's making it about himself. Oh, his dad's making videos of him coming to the game and hugging his son up before the game. It's only about the Sanders. Every single time he has nailed it when put in a position by either the media or the football gods to second guess his coach or the setup around him or whether they want him or not. Well, these numbers certainly support him being the start of the rest of the season, and guess what was announced in the last hour?
What makes this situation more volatile is where the information is coming from. The growing wave of reporting isn't speculation from the outside. It's sourced from within Cleveland's media ecosystem, which historically moves when the organization wants narratives tested publicly. When insiders begin framing scenarios where wins might save a head coach, it's rarely accidental. It signals debate behind closed doors.
And I was telling them, during the game, I respect their defense. I respect kind of their coaching and how it was, because if you understand, it was kind of like Tampa 2, that Mike Backer running, walling, taking that middle, because we had a through route, a vertical route from the inside. Then we had a dagger coming. But then as soon as and I'm like, okay, cool. I got the dagger. But then he peeled off. And
there's a widening belief that Stefanski's seat is already hot, if not already scorched. Some expect a full reset that includes the front office. Others see a more surgical outcome. Andrew Berry's name keeps coming up, but the dynamics there are different. Berry is tied to Sanders in a way Stefanski isn't. The decision to draft him, the push to get him on the field, the move that opened the door entirely, shipping Joe Flacco out to clear the path. Those weren't passive choices, they were calculated.
I'm here once again. How y'all doing?
Shedeur, just how do you summarize this performance?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Coming up here before y'all 6-7 months ago, I couldn't tell you I'll be here. That's how life is. Everybody's not in the best situation, but it's no excuse. You got to go out there and perform. There's no choice, there's no question. Nobody cares if this was 1 week of prep. Who cares? So a lot of people want to see me fail, and that ain't gonna happen.
Without that trade, this season looks completely different. There's no quarterback controversy. There's no moment where the offense collapses under one option and sparks under another. Sanders doesn't step in and immediately change the energy of the team. Instead, Cleveland got a live demonstration of contrast. One quarterback struggled to keep the offense afloat. The other looked composed, decisive, and ready.
In front of the microphone where he's either asked point blank something to contradict his coach's beliefs in him, or
Play
calls, or set up to help him succeed. Every single situation has either been point blank asked of him, or in this situation, the football gods place a legit question in front of him through the media saying, "Are you upset to be taken off the field?" And he answered it, knocked it out of the park each time.
That contrast is what lit the season on fire, for better or worse. Sanders didn't just play better, he shifted belief in the locker room and among fans. That's why these final games matter far more than the record suggests. Winning with Sanders doesn't just mean momentum, it forces ownership to confront an uncomfortable question. If the rookie is the future, who deserves credit for that growth?
Extremely embarrassing. And it's a fireable offense, if you ask me. When you start to think and unpack what's been happening week after week after week, how we've been trying to mask, put makeup, not mention, do certain things, and then in the most gotta have it moment of the game, this is probably the only team in the National Football League that takes their starting quarterback out of the game. It's a 2-point conversion.
That's where Stefanski's name gets dragged back into the conversation. There's an argument being floated that a strong finish could reframe his tenure. That development at quarterback could outweigh earlier missteps. But that argument falls apart under scrutiny. Cleveland hasn't seen consistent quarterback development under Stefanski. Systems have changed. Personnel has rotated. Stability has been missing.
Done.
Tell him, Skip.
Kevin Stefanski should have been fired last night.
Yep.
He will be fired at the end of this season. He did not want Shedeur in the first place. He has tried everything in his power to keep Shedeur from succeeding this entire football season, to the point of sabotage. That was pure sabotage yet again, as he made Shedeur take the trot of shame, as I call it.
Now the irony is unavoidable. Stefanski's job security may depend on the very quarterback he hesitated to play. The same rookie who spent weeks without meaningful reps is now positioned as a potential lifeline. 2 games. That's the margin. Not because they erase the season, but because they define the future. If Sanders closes strong, Cleveland faces another decision just as critical. Is he the franchise quarterback? If the answer is yes, everything else must align with that truth.
Conversion. You have the ball in individuals' hands that it's not hard to find out what you're going to do. You're running a gadget play. It's either going to be a run or it's going to be an inaccurate pass because the natural thrower is on the sideline. These type of decisions really is beyond even a head scratch. It's like, what are we really doing here? Are we really trying to win? Because some of the things that we're showing on film will really have a person to say like, yo, what's happening?
Keeping a head coach who initially blocked his path raises serious concerns. Development requires trust, continuity, and belief. Those don't magically appear because pressure mounts. From Sanders' perspective, the situation is just as delicate. Remaining in Cleveland under leadership that once sidelined him carries risk. Growth can stall as quickly as it begins if the environment isn't right. For fans invested in Sanders, the preference is clear. A fresh
And Kevin Stefanski just didn't want Shedeur Sanders to be the hero of that game. He said, I'll do anything in my power to keep you out of the spotlight here. You got us to the edge of the spotlight. You're not going to seize the spotlight from me, not on my watch. And he took him out and went Wildcat again, and it was obviously an embarrassing abomination of a play. So the big picture yesterday was that with his career on the line, Shedeur Sanders played a game.
Start as head coach aligns better with long-term success than a forced partnership built on convenience. The league has a way of balancing power in strange ways. A coach once insulated by accolades now waits on a rookie quarterback to define his fate. The dynamic has flipped completely. Every snap Sanders takes carries weight beyond the scoreboard. It speaks to vision, accountability, and the direction of the franchise.
I'm going to be honest. I've seen people on Twitter talking about Kevin Stefanski taking Shedeur out of the game. And I just thought it was just another week of Browns fans, Shedeur fans being crazy, right? But I just went back and caught up on this game. And oh my God, y'all are right. This is coaching malpractice. You're telling me this, I'm going to get upset here. And it's not even my team. I have no dog in the fight. You're telling me this rookie quarterback fought his heart out today, threw a touchdown.
So here's the real question. If Shedeur Sanders proves he's the future over these final games, does Cleveland have the courage to choose him over the system that tried to hold him back? Or will the organization play it safe and risk losing the very thing that could change everything? Kindly like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep the conversation going and stay locked in, because what happens next will define this franchise for years.